Good morning, everyone. Again, let me introduce myself. I'm Jermaine Flores, Systems Engineer from Fortinet, Philippines, and I'm actually assigned to provide solutions for the customer and helping our community, right, to achieve, of course, digitalization of their current infrastructure. So, first of all, on behalf of the Fortinet team, we would like to thank VST and the attendees who joined the session today, and of course, for having us today and staying with us for an hour and so. So I'll make this presentation swift and brief. So today I'll be sharing about achieving a secure hyper-connected world with Fortinet. So let me just share my screen. There you go. Can anyone see my screen?
Yes, you can see it. Thank you.
Okay, great. So, so let me jump in on the slides. So now if you look at the enterprise today, most of their applications are deployed into cloud. They have what we call the cloud first initiative. This is because, of course, the advantage, the savings, the faster go-to-market, the seamless experience, and a swipe of your card with few clicks, you can already have an infrastructure up and running. Instantly deploy application, instantly move application and data to the cloud and even to the branches. And of course, for your and to the users, creating what we call a hybrid digital enterprise infrastructure that are hyper-connected. Okay, so nowadays everybody loves cloud, right? And this is actually transform every industry. The demand for online application, online everything, to compete with the market, we should be the first to deploy application. We should be the trending, right? That is the new term of the millennials today, right? So what is cloud? I think some of you already know cloud, but for those who don't have the idea, of course, the cloud is a computing, is a on-demand availability of computer resources or system resources, especially for data storage, computing power, without direct active management by the user. Cloud is just someone else data center, okay, that consists of converged 886 system, RAM, HDD configured with the high availability and installed with hypervisor. So we subscribe to those cloud providers and we use their resources and pay for what we use for, right? It's just like, of course, renting the resources, okay? So some key players, I think some of you are already familiar with these key players. So the key players, of course, the public cloud is the likes of AWS, GCP, and Microsoft Azure. This is where we deploy our elastic workloads, right? That are very unpredictable in demand of compute and resources and, of course, utilization. Okay, so but not all workloads are suitable for a public cloud, right? There are also predictable workloads that are better deployed on a private cloud environment. Hence, we have what we call the private cloud, okay, to bring the advantages, the simplicity, and savings of the public cloud. It's just like it's just like deploying the a public cloud into your on-premise environment. Okay, but organization nowadays build what we call the hybrid cloud type of architecture, wherein it's a combination of the public and also the private, right? And there are also what we call the community cloud and also multi-cloud type of environment. Okay, this is where the customer have the flexibility, of course, to deploy application whether on-prem or public, or even move seamlessly between the two infrastructure. So the trends right now is, of course, adopting multi-cloud strategy, and the digital transformation is actually transforming the organization, how they bring products and services to the market, and ultimately deliver the value to their customer. Okay, but of course, there are also some hindrances. Okay, uncertainty, doubts about security, right? Since now we're now expanding the data center corporate network to multiple clouds and work from home users. This is also expand the digital attack surface. Additional to that, every day threats are getting more sophisticated. With not enough skilled people, we tend to buy, of course, multiple vendor products that doesn't even talk to each other, creating what we call a siloed infrastructure. And this is actually happening right now on some of the organization. Now, we must remember that one of the enemies of security is complexity, because the more complex, the harder it is to secure, and also the harder it is to achieve compliance. In fact, in the indicated in our Fortinet Cloud Security Report shows that organizations are now using two or more cloud providers, and 73% of cloud users are concerned about security of the cloud. Okay. And additional to that, of course, also the pandemic, the new normal. Many authors have surveyed the impact of COVID-19 on a different aspect of the economy and culture, and speculation about on what the new normal will uh, look like for different segments, society, and in various type of organization. It is important to consider how the pandemic has impacted us as a security leaders to the organization, and how we can navigate uncertain waters to emerge post-COVID world in the coming months and years. Okay, so the past 15 years have been unlikely in any other times in our career. In early February of last year, a very respectable analyst firm predicted that 2023, 30% more workers would work from home. That would have been a big increase over the share office workers that work from home at that time, and may have been seen as a rather a bold prediction. But less than a month later, the world changed completely. A majority of office workers were working remotely. So with that in mind, probably the question here is, how can we adopt digital transformation and prepare for the new normal with confidence? Okay. So again, digital innovation was already in full swing at the most enterprise, but the pandemic forced an already accelerating trend to move even more quickly. Projects that were several years out of the roadmap were suddenly business critical, right? Companies could no longer just maintain, but instead they need to enable new generation of networks, collaboration tools, cloud services with widely distributed architecture, and protect it at the same time. In other words, we must do two seemingly contradicting things. That is, of course, protect and connect. Okay, protect our organizations, and of course connect our users, and even connect our customers. So a holistic approach is needed. The security leader is an increasingly essential part of this conversation. A holistic approach means building an entire architecture as a single unit, enabling organization to accomplish both digital innovation, security at the same time by using native integration. I should quickly note that holistic is not necessarily monopoly. Okay, the organization do not have to throw away their installed base to take advantage of an integrated cyber response. However, security element should be chosen so that they natively working together. So again, we have to remind ourselves also that the cloud security or cloud management is a shared responsibility. Of course, there's a part of the customer, and also there's a part of the cloud provider. Okay, now to achieve the digital innovation outcomes and prepare for the new normal without security compromise, we need a broad, integrated, automated cybersecurity fabric platform, a model, a strategy, proven, matured security. Okay. Now, this is the Fortinet security fabric to protect and securely connect every edges, and it's made up of 5 pillars. Okay. So let me discuss to you these 5 pillars. Okay. First is the zero trust. Everybody is talking about zero trust model, right? Because adopting zero trust model is actually reducing the exposure of your assets. With this approach, access to the resources is dynamically granted, re-evaluated based on the real-time context and behavior of the requestors. As billions of new devices trying to access our connected world, we must permanently challenge all attempts to access the network and different resources within it. Then the next is, of course, our security-driven networking, right? So secure and accelerate the network and user experience. So the demand for the secure SD-WAN is actually accelerating due to its increased agility and reduced cost, coupled with visibility into the traffic. Smart companies are actually right now adopting secure-driven networking approach as they perceive the need for network innovation and advanced security to be addressed as one. Take note, as one. The merge of two previous siloed functions, this actually improves the efficiency of both and makes security an enabler of digital innovation. Now, of course, security should be also capable to adapt multi-cloud environment, the public and the private cloud, and of course, different providers, right? And this is what our cloud security is. So cloud is, of course, is one of the biggest IT trends of our organization, enabling incredible computing power without the capital expenditure. Some enterprises have tried to focus one single public cloud because security protection is more straightforward. But this is also locks the enterprise into following a specific technology roadmap, okay, and a future cost structure that it may not control. So on the other hand, if security sits on top of this distributed multi-cloud infrastructure, then the enterprise has the freedom to find the best cloud for every services. Okay. Then another thing is AI. This is actually a hot topic because AI automatically prevents, detect, and respond to cyber threats, right? So to keep up with the volume of sophistication and the speed of today's cyber attack, organization needs security operation that can function as machine speed, right? By applying artificial intelligence, machine learning, as well as integration, automation, organization can reduce the risk, improve efficiency, okay? And advanced threat detection and response capability, along with centralized security monitoring and optimization, can easily be added across the security or the entire security fabric, okay? Then the next is, of course, fabric management. Reduce the complexity and operation with the fabric management. The fabric management is a center provide a powerful automation-ready single pane, single glass of pane management with, of course, giving you the visibility, the advanced compliance report, networking aware, rapid response across the on-premise cloud or the hybrid environment. The Fabric Management Center has been tested for more than a decade. It means this is already proven. This is deployed by thousands of customers around the world across the major industry verticals. Okay, so this is the platform that you can use as your guidance, as your roadmap for securing your digitalization and preparing for the new normal. Okay, so this is the end-to-end view of the fabric. So here's the new fabric for 2021. The Fortinet Security Fabric actually delivers broad visibility of the entire digital attack surface to better match risk. Okay, so Fortinet Security Fabric provides full protection for across the entire digital infrastructure. The network at the core of the fabric enables multiple network security use cases, including enterprise-level next-generation firewall, internet segmentation or internal segmentation, and SD-WAN. Okay, so the Fabric Management Center provides a single glass of pane, simplifying the operation and enabling automation of workflows. So complete visibility and control for all the traffic and threats and every point across the attack surface, from edge, at the core, in the hybrid cloud, in a multi-cloud environment. Okay, AI-driven breach detection prevention provides automation, automation, orchestration, and response. In short, this is a cybersecurity platform that natively integrates sharing telemetry to defend the entire digital infra to combat the current, new, sophisticated cyber attacks with AI and automation at the machine level speed. Okay, so again, with our scenario today, okay, with the digitalization, solution should be also flexible, right? Flexible, meaning the solution can be deployed. It's either an appliance, a VM, on an instance, okay, as a service and as a software. So this is actually shows you the maturity and adaptability of the solution. So taking deeper dive here, here are the products that are integrated into the Fortinet Security Fabric, right? All of these are actually supported by, of course, our threat intelligence FortiGuard Labs, okay? A services that delivers an AI-powered intelligence and protection across the security fabric. Now, when we talk about security solutions, it is very important to talk about, of course, the services that enables those solutions, right? To run and protect our of course, enterprise environment. So this is to show you the broad visibility of the security from the LAN, okay, by using, of course, our NAC from the FortiClient agent to authenticator, extending to the LAN, okay, from the switches to the extender to the access point, and to the one, of course, the firewall, and of course, for the cloud, right, deploying the FortiGate or firewall to the cloud, and of course, the web, mail, and FortiClient also for the end users, okay, endpoints, and EDR for also endpoints, and analytics and AI, and a single glass of pane for management. Okay, so again, this is to show you the broad visibility security from the entire infrastructure. Okay, so probably a question here is that with all those solutions or products, so how do we start our journey? What should I do first? Well, first, of course, we need to assess the current infra. How do we connect to the cloud? How users connect to the data center or in the applications on the cloud? Well, is it the question here? Is it the efficient way? Is it the secured way? Is it good enough? Or is there's a better way to do it? Okay, so as you've heard, we can use the 5 pillars of security fabric or the Fortinet security fabric as our strategy and guidance. Now, let me drill down one of the important enabler of adopting digitalization. As an example, for this session is the SD-WAN, secure SD-WAN. Okay, so secure, reliable SD-WAN solutions gets to the cloud faster. Not just cloud, but also connects your branches efficiently and effectively. Connect also your users to the application that meets your SLA. And we are the only one who can do it better, right? So the question is, how do we do it? Okay, how do we do it well? So if you look at the market today, the approach is to acquire or buy individual products like separate appliance for SD-WAN, next generation firewall, ZTNA, and routing. This is good, but you might also agree with me that that this is not good enough, right? Because if you can imagine the cost, this requires you to buy separate boxes, individual licenses, renewals for each part, preparation and implementation, and this appliance doesn't even talk to each other, right? So this is not the innovative way, okay? And what about support? So if you have an issue or challenges with your network, whose vendor, whose support you're going to call? Is it the router support vendor, or is it the firewall, or is it the SD-WAN? And the problem sometimes they will tell you that it's not my problem, it's the firewall problem, it's the firewall guy, right? And then the firewall guy will finger point the SD-WAN guy. Then the SD-WAN guy will tell you that it's the network, right? So it's becoming more complicated. And also, you need to train your people. You need to certify your people to, of course, to properly operate these products, right? So what if those challenges, okay, what if we can remove those challenges and simplify the architecture, a holistic approach? And most importantly, what if we can turn those expenses into savings? Well, I believe everybody loves savings, right? So what Fortinet has done is to provide our customer, re-innovate the approach by providing you a one appliance that consists of the 5 products in one box. You can do SD-WAN, next generation firewall, advanced routing, zero trust network access, creating what we call a secure SD-WAN. Now, the result of this is, of course, simplifying everything. One operating system, one management, reduce the cost, and of course, securing connectivity. And of course, support. Well, the solution speaks for itself, right? So this actually a single point of contact for support. This actually removes the complexity challenges with silo approach. And of course, reduce the CapEx or reduce also the cost of acquisition of new innovation solution with, of course, with bundled licenses. So isn't that valuable, right? So this is something that you can look forward to into your digitalization or digital innovation journey, okay? So probably the next question here is, what about OpEx? What if also we can turn that one operation expenses into savings? Again, everybody loves savings, right? So how do we do it? So if you look at it at a diagram perspective, okay, or architectural point of view, So the legacy infrastructure use MPLS. Now, the good side of it is actually it's a secure point-to-point private network. It's highly reliable. It has been around since 1997. Okay, but of course it is expensive. It is fixed and sometimes inconsistent. Access to the applications are typically routed through a dedicated band link. Okay, which is managed and controlled by the service provider, offered at significant cost. And of course, the SLA agreements with the provider helps to set the expectations on usage, access security, and let's say for this branch office, right? Then the bandwidth demand. Okay, there of course when you spin up application, there's a bandwidth demand. Okay, so contract and services adds up. Then the cost of contracts renewal see a significant price increase. So the application, whether enterprise or cloud, cloud-based has to be backhauled through the data center, increasing the latency, slowing the application specifically for cloud host applications with the risk of increasing the bandwidth. Okay, then bandwidth consumption due to the traffic demand of these cloud apps. And of course, the end user experience is also impacted. And there's also a lack of visibility and control of the application. So again, let's say you have an on-premise applications, you increase the application, you deploy a new applications and provide it to your branches, then of course there would be a increase on applications demand. It's also increase the bandwidth and it increase the cost. And same story with the internet. Let's say you provided internet to your branches and branches need to go to the on-premise data center. Of course, it will also increase the bandwidth, increase the cost. Same with the public cloud environment. Let's say you're now spinning up application to the public cloud, but the branches need to go to the on-premise data center just to access those applications on the public cloud. So that will also increase the application demand, increase the bandwidth, and increase also the cost. Same story with, of course, software as a service. So as long as you keep adding applications, adding critical applications for your business, okay, the bandwidth demand will keep on increasing, meaning increase in contract costs. Okay, and the question here is, how many branches do your organization need to connect to the data center just to access those resources? Okay, so the cost will skyrocket, right? So MPLS is good. It's a secure point-to-point private network and highly reliable. But the bad side, it is expensive. You get limited bandwidth for what you pay for, and it's not really flexible beyond the point-to-point solutions. No, so no further roadmap. Okay, so it's not built for cloud since there's a massive amount of online application. This approach will be super expensive and, of course, poor performance. And again, what if we can simplify this? What if we can turn your one OPEX cost into savings? Again, everybody loves, of course, savings, right? Cost benefits. So how does Secure SD-WAN solve this? Okay, let's say you have branches, you have office branch and on-premise data center. Of course, we can still use MPLS connectivity, okay? We can still provide MPLS, but at the same time, we can also provide a secure local internet breakout, accessing internet, right? So now your users are secured accessing the internet using the SD-WAN or the FortiGate SD-WAN. Again, it's a converged security and SD-WAN solutions that can inspect traffic, right? So this is a direct access from branch, direct internet access from branch. Then your users can also access using that same link, using that same internet link, can access the public cloud or application that's reside on the public cloud. Okay, so this actually, of course, improves the application performance for both the public cloud and also for both software as a service. Okay, this is also can, of course, we can also do load balancing technologies like that. And with that, we can also provide best user experience for every applications, right? And also, again, you enhance the user experience, and you can also use this model for teleworkers, right? So we can also connect your teleworkers directly from the public cloud, the on-premise, data center, the internet, and software as a service. And also we have a technology called Fortisase, wherein our teleworkers can be protected and can access resources and applications to the public cloud. Okay, so you can, of course, reducing the cost, augment MPLS with broadband and LTE, or even remove MPLS, okay, and rapid deployment and expand. Then, of course, simplifying the deployments of the one and one of automation and centralized manage and control every branches and every solutions. Okay. Now okay, we also have the, of course, intelligent steering where we can load balance. If there's a degradation on the, let's say on the link, we can automatically redirect the traffic based on available and best links bandwidth on the branches. Okay. Reliable accuracy, including encrypted traffic. We can, of course, we can do VPN, SSL encryptions and connection. Then continuous learning, we have the broadest support 5,000 applications. So we can define application and apply policy based on those applications. And we can even apply SLA based on the application. Okay. And self-healing. Of course, if there's a disruption on the network, the system is intelligent enough to redirect the traffic or to access the best link. Okay. So, okay, now this is the use case to get instantly connect to the cloud and save CapEx and OpEx. But of course, there's more than that. Okay. So with Fortinet, we have, of course, we can transform the one and security as one, powered by one operating system, one management with built-in SD-WAN, advanced routing, and next generation firewall. Simplify the secure branch, SD branch. So the secure SD-WAN and expanding the capability by integrating NAC, wireless LAN, and LAN, and also even broadband connectivity like leveraging the LTE, 4G, and of course the 5G. Then optimizing hybrid workforce experience. With the current pandemic scenario today, we need a matured security solution to connect our work from home users, accessing application, whether on-premise data center or cloud, with consistent management and enabling a SASE framework. Okay. Then secure enhanced network performance of hybrid and multi-cloud. Get to the cloud faster, right? Across all cloud vendors with single VM, reducing the footprint and cloud on-ramp orchestration. Then enable predictable application performance and resiliency. So we should be able to predict the application performance and remediate. And of course, it should be self-healing network. Okay. Then achieve operational efficiency across WAN and cloud edges. Automate the design, the deployment, the operation for large-scale environment. Single glass of pane, okay, providing network-wide visibility, analytics, reporting, and orchestration. Now, those are some of the use cases. And let me share to you, of course, the Fortinet Secure SD-WAN architecture component. So this is actually the SD-WAN components of Fortinet SD-WAN solution. So it's a multi-transport. So we support MPLS, broadband, even the LTE, 3G, 4G, and upcoming 5G. And of course, we also have this, we can even connect or implement IPsec VPN and VLANs. And of course, we are supported by, of course, the FortiGuard labs, okay, security as a service at the same times, and integrate with FortiSandbox and security rating that provides you a security rating for your environment, okay, or checking the security risk of your environment. And of course, network and security operations using the Forti Manager and Forti Analyzer and FortiSIM. Application awareness, again, we have 5,000 applications that already defined. So you can use those applications to apply, of course, policy and steer the traffics. Zero touch deployment using Forti Deploy and Forti Manager. Every FortiGates can be managed by, of course, the Forti Manager, a single glass of pane where you can, of course, enforce policy, apply, and of course, connect your appliance FortiGate, okay? And identify access management. So we do integrate, of course, with Authenticator, FortiSSO for Active Directory integrations and single sign-ons. Then multi-cloud application steering. Again, we can, of course, manipulate applications based on available traffic, best links going to the cloud, and one edge consolidation. So again, we can converge those solutions into one, so that you can have the benefits. Okay, you can have the, of course, reducing the total TCO. Okay, then FortiGate next generation firewalls capabilities. Again, with one box, you can have these capabilities: the SSL inspection, content filtering, IPS, anti-botnet, application control, reputation, antivirus, and of course with security processor for performance. In one box, you can do SSL inspections, and you can also do SD-WAN, connecting your entire network to the, of course, to the cloud or multi-cloud type of infra. Okay. So what are the IT outcomes? So the IT outcomes is actually delivers a superior quality of experience at scale. Okay. And at the same time, simpler and faster to secure network with one edge for network security and routing and analytics, right? Then achieve operational efficiency, one management for automating, configuring, and deployment, orchestrating policy and analytics and reporting. Okay. What about the business outcomes? Well, 10 times superior user experience and productivity improvement. Then 99% increase in business uptimes and reducing risk. Of course, 65% lower TCO. Okay. So we are actually recognized as a leader for network firewall and one edge by, of course, by Gartner. Okay, delivered from the same FortiGate platform. At the same time, recognized as visionary for wired and wireless LAN access infrastructure. What you see at place is the power of Fortinet Security Fabric and FortiOS innovation, providing a security from the secure branch, extending to the one edge to the data center, and of course, compassing the multi-cloud deployments and securing the entire attack surface. Okay, so Fortinet Secure SD-WAN named as a leader again in 2021 Gartner Magic Quadrant for one edge infrastructure and positioned the highest in ability to execute among all other vendors. Okay. In addition, Gartner Critical Capabilities Report, including recommendation on how to select the best SD-WAN solution based on use cases, Fortinet has been ranked 3 years in a row for security sensitive use cases. Okay. And we also achieved 2 years in a row in small branches, one use cases, and even for the remote workers use cases. Okay, this actually shows you the maturity of our solutions. Okay. Okay, Gartner also, Fortinet is also proud to be named as Gartner Peer Insight Customer's Choice in several critical areas. Okay, then Best Practice Award. We are actually awarded by, of course, the Frost and Sullivan for best for Global SD-WAN Vendor Product Leadership Award. Okay, and we are also obtained as a leader in 2021 Frost Radar SD-WAN or Global SD-WAN solution. Okay, so it's always our practice to validate with third-party evaluators so that we can provide our customer the best of class when it comes to security. So as you can see, we achieved 9 recommendations from NSS Lab. One of those is, of course, the next generation firewall, next generation intrusion system or intrusion prevention system, then next generation data center IPS and data center security gateway, and at the same time, breach prevention system and breach detection system. And Fortinet also recommended by Fortinet NSS Lab for advanced endpoint protection, and WAF for web application firewall, and of course the SD-WAN or the software-defined wide area network. Okay. So to validate the solution, it is always best to get the customer feedback and hear their stories about their experience with Fortinet. So let me share to you a video of our customers or our SD-WAN's users. Okay.
All right, my
Hi,
name is
great.
Min Lee. I am the CIO of Checkers Drive-In Restaurants. We are a fairly large to mid-sized brand with around 850 locations across 38 states. Well, when I joined Checkers 2.5 years ago, our infrastructure was a mess. I mean, there's no standardization. It was falling apart, no reliability. They were buying hardware off of eBay, and that's how bad it was. And with my background, where I came from before, we had a fairly large infrastructure vendor. And when I first joined Checkers and saw all this, I'm like, hey, wait a second, I'm just gonna bring that vendor over here and be done with it, rip it and replace. So we started going through a proof of concept, but one of my ideas is I'm never always tied to a vendor because there's always innovation out there. Fortinet just came to the top of the list, so naturally we reached out to Fortinet and say, hey, we're doing this with this vendor, which is one of your biggest competitors. We want to give you a shot at the business as well. This is everything we need. And that's where Fortinet came into play as part of that selection process. Going from an environment where everything was breaking, falling apart, nothing is managed centrally, nothing is standardized, having to deal with each restaurant, each piece of hardware one at a time, even if you can't even get to it, it's a nightmare. In comes this cloud managed solution, everything's centralized, single pane of glass, template rollout. We open 55 locations a year, and within the next few years, it's going to be 100 locations a year. We need to be able to roll these things out quick and easy, and the Fortinet solution does that. So we need to manage a large number of distributed locations at scale, and the only way to do it successfully is to have a product like what FortiGate offers us, being able to manage a distributed environment centrally and have visibility through the threat intelligence and the other Fortinet fabrics out there. One of the biggest things is high availability, right? And we know that SD-WAN achieves that. With the Fortinet's SD-WAN solution, we have our primary broadband coming into the restaurants and with a backup cellular. Given that high availability usage, the centralized management of it, and full control on security piece of it, especially as we start migrating to SaaS-based applications, it totally makes sense, and it's a perfect fit for our business. So currently we have SD-WAN deployed in around 265 locations. As far as managing and administration, it went from a big 500-pound gorilla to like a little chipmunk. The two top things I love about Fortinet is, one is the ability to manage the solution centrally, having a single pane of glass, where I could easily maintain the existing infrastructure, have visibility, but I could scale at my pace, right? The technology shouldn't be holding me back from scaling. So integrating Fortinet into our process, our goal of opening 100 restaurants a year is easily achievable with this solution. The other thing is the security, that I could sleep better at night knowing that Fortinet's threat intelligence is protecting my restaurants. Being able to go from 5 FTEs to 1 FTE and some help desk, using this for resources, deploying them to other projects, it could easily be in the hundreds, thousands to millions saved over the 2 or 3 year period that we're currently engaged right now, and we're planning on extending so that savings will continue to grow. So currently, we have Fortinet installed in our 265 corporate locations. Looking forward, we have 600 franchise locations. I'm looking to standardize Fortinet across the board. My recent experience with the Fortinet team is that they are probably one of the best people I've ever worked with in my career. They're knowledgeable, they're transparent, they're responsive, they're accountable. So that's everything I want in a vendor. All right, my name is
Okay, so that is the story of how we get our customer to fast and secure into the cloud and to their digitalization strategy. But of course, there's more than that. Of course, in every solution of our Forti Fabric, there are also story of simplicity, security, reliability, and of course, improvements in performance and also savings, right? And that's how we help our customer adopt the digitalization transformation, adopting the private, the public cloud with security and reliability, and of course, with significant cost benefits. Truly today, digital innovation is the uh, hyper-connected world needs a holistic approach, protecting and connecting the user and seamlessly with, of course, simplicity. Now, this is actually the future, and we believe that this is the way to go. Okay, you can also consider this as, of course, your security roadmap and strategy for digitalization, and of course, preparation for the new normal. So that's it for me. If you would like to engage with us and learn more about zero trust model, security-driven network, and accelerate the hyper-connected world, adopt and secure cloud, and even AI automation, defense in depth, or active defense strategy, you can coordinate, of course, with your partner, VST. And again, thank you and take care. And hope this session is been informative for you. Okay.